गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Last week we saw the Daivi Sampatti, and today we begin with the Asuri Sampatti. We are in Jnaneshwari. Jnaneshwari is Jnaneshwar Maharaj's commentary on Bhagavad Gita, and we are in the 16th chapter, 4th verse. And so, what are the Asuri Sampatti? Dambho Darpobhimanascha, Dambho Darpobhimanascha, Krodha Parushyameva Krodha Parushyameva Ajnanam Chabhijatasya Ajnanam Chabhijatasya Partha Sampadamasurim Partha Sampadamasurim. Hypocrisy, arrogance, conceit, wrath, and also harshness and ignorance, these, O Partha, belong to the one born to the demonical endowment. So, Dambho is hypocrisy, Darpa is arrogance, or Abhiman is arrogance, Darpa is conceit, Krodha is harshness or anger, and Parushya, Ajnanam is ignorance, and these are the Partha is Arjuna's name, and these are Abhijatasya Partha Sampadasurim. These belong to the one born. They cannot be of some inert object. They have to be of some living, and they belong to the one born in the Asuri Sampada, in the Asuric, with the Asuric Pravritti, or the Asuric endowment, demonic endowment. So what are they? Let's read. Taritayachi Asura Dosha Mazi Jaya Vira Vadapanacha Dangora To Dambhu Aisa जैसी आपुली जननी नग्न दाविलिया जनी ते तीर्थची परिपत्नी कारण होय का विद्या गुरुपदिष्टा बोभाई लया चोहटा तरी इष्टदा परि अनिष्टा हेतु होती पै आंगे बुड़ता महापुरी जेवेगे काढ़ी पैलतीरी ते नावची बांधलिया श्री बुढ़वी जैसी. He says that which is well known as the foremost fault in the demonical endowment is hypocrisy. If the mother, even though sacred, is if the mother, even though sacred, is brought naked before the public, it leads one to perdition. The esoteric knowledge received from the preceptor leads to good results, but it causes harm if it is proclaimed publicly. A boat rescues person caught in a great flood and takes them safe to the other shore, but a person who carries it on his head is surely to be drowned. So what is this what you call hypocrisy? you know, majority, we see these people, so called, they proclaim that they are vegetarian, that they are going to temple every day, they live near the temple, they do puja every day, they chant the mantras every day, they do the japa every day. But when it comes to dealing with the other people, it is totally different. हिंदी में बोलते हैं मुंह में राम राम बगल में छुरी. Those who know will that one statement tells you what hypocrisy is. See, ready to take advantage. And in hypocrisy, what happens is what we are not is shown to the world. See, we are all like that. Somewhere or the other, we are all like that. We have to improve. We have to be alert. We have to be vigilant. So here Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, he gives so just like the knowledge received from the Guru Maharaj, from the teacher, from the Acharya, it leads to good results. The knowledge received from the teacher leads to good results if you follow it. Where you follow it? In yourself. But what are we doing? We are teaching it to others. Are we following it in our life? Little bit of how many 4-week yoga course, 6-week yoga course, 6 months yoga course, and we proclaim ourselves to be the teachers. And those yogis who have been doing yoga all their life still are shy away from teaching someone. They only teach someone who comes to them. Dindora nahi peette. They don't beat the drum that I have done the yoga course. Come now, I will teach you. I will change your life. Write books after books. Record everything. Put it on. All that is. But inside, there was one great musician, very, very famous. And when his 80th birthday was to be celebrated, they invited Swamiji to his birthday in the big samaroh and everything. And after the samaroh and all, he took him home or wherever. He said, I want, please come with me. And there, no, after that, I think he was on his, very soon after that, he was breathing his last. And when he was breathing his last, he called Swamiji. He said, Swamiji went there, something like that. I'm not exactly sure of the events. But he said, I am such a great devotional singer. People sing my praises. People put me on a pedestal. And I was also looking forward to that. And if I was not given that accolade and respect and the pedestal, then I would not go and perform. That so many people have to be there. This has to be there. This type of arrangement has to be there. And you can see his compositions and his singing beautiful in the Maharashtrian side, in Maharashtra. But he says, Swamiji, I'll tell you one thing. I sing so much devotional songs, people cry by listening to my song. But I am empty from inside. It has not clicked. That devotion hasn't clicked to me. I have not reached where my sound, my music, my singing takes other people, take my bhajan, take them to that state of ecstasy. But I am myself short of it. Please help me. Please save me. See? This is how we are all. little bit knowledge, little bit of abilities, and we go around beating the drum. And then he says that, but it causes harm if proclaimed publicly. You see all great masters, take Shirdi Sai Baba, take Ammachi, take Anandamayi Ma, take Udiya Baba, take Ramakrishna Paramhans, take Satya Sai Baba, take any master, Gajanan Maharaj, Gondavlekar Maharaj. They never went around proclaiming that I know everything, come, I will change all of you. They never. People came to them. Yes, a great movement. Shirdi Sai Baba, what the movement is there today with Shirdi Sai Bhagwan, when he was alive, when he was there, that time it was not that great. Shankar Maharaj, now so many ashrams and so many temples everywhere, so many devotees. But when he was alive, people used to condemn. They used to say he is a Vyasani. He is an intoxicated person. He keeps smoking. Without alcohol, he cannot survive. He's got a bad mouth, because he used to give left and right bad words. Only to those who deserved it. Those who came with that type of thought, he gave it to them. But those who recognized, in spite of this facade of madness, those who came close to him, they got the Amrit. See? But we are putting a facade without having the Amrit. Hypocrisy. That is why our words don't make an impact. When a Mahatma speaks, one word everyone feels, that was meant for me. But when we speak, even an ant or a mosquito doesn't get affected. Still continue doing the same. No, nothing happens. See? Hypocrisy. Then he says, just like a boat rescues a person to cross the flooded river, but if the boat is carried on top of your head, naturally you are going to drown, man. So hypocrisy is like carrying the knowledge on your head. It will drown you. If humility is not there, what is that? Vidya and Vinaya. There is a couple who come to our Bhagavad, Vidya and Vinaya. Perfect jodi. Where there is Vidya, there must be, Vidya means knowledge. Where there is knowledge, there must be Vinaya, humility. I don't know if he is listening, but there must be humility. See? Continuing. कारण से जीविता तेवा निले जरी सेविता तरी अन्नची पंडुसुता होय विष तैसा द्रष्टा दृष्टाचा सखा धर्मु झाला तो फोकारिजे देखा तरी तारिता तोची दोखा लागी होय म्हणवनी वाचेचा चौबारा घातलिया धर्माचा पसारा धर्मुची तो अधर्मू होय वीरा तो दंभू जाणे आथा मूर्खाची जिभे अक्षरांचा आंबुखा शुभे आणि तो ब्रह्मसभे नरिझे जैसा कामादुरी लोकाचा घोडा गजपती ही मानी थोडा का काटी ये वरिल्या सरडा स्वर्गु ही नीच. He says, O son of Pandu, food ordinarily sustains life, but if one stuffs himself with it because it is tasty, it acts like a poison. Whenever there is ati of something, whenever we overdo something, it acts like a poison. If you take brandy, 1 spoon of brandy at night in winters, it will help you to keep warm. That's what we used to do when we were young, because no heaters in the house in Delhi. But no, I want more cold to go away. So we drink 1 glass of brandy. Gone. Next day school missed. Then you will get drunk. So any medicine taken in the right quantity, it is beneficial. Over, why only medicine? Anything that you intake, whether what you are seeing, if you keep seeing, you cannot. Eyes are continuously going, what's next, pagal ho jayega. One who is addicted to listening, something always must going on. He cannot remain silent. Little bit silence, again he will put some TV on or some show on or some music on or something. Can't sit silent. Ati. Similarly, here the example taken is of the food. Understand food in a generic way. Food is not only the food that you eat. That also becomes poison because you are unwell. You are overfull. Then gas. Then fat, flatulence, etc. But food in generic way, everything that is coming in through your senses is food. Thoughts are also food for the mind. Too much thoughts, the mind is eating or interacting with depression. Lose the plot. Food ordinarily sustains life, but if one stuffs himself with it because it is tasty, it acts like poison. Therefore, if a religious act which is a friend in this or the next world is proclaimed publicly, it causes more harm than good. So whatever we do in our life, whatever practices we are doing in our life, keep it a secret. What do you want to prove? Many people come and ask, Swamiji, what time you get up? Why should I tell you, man? No, please. Then I have to tell. No, sometimes I get up at 2 o'clock, sometimes I get up at 5 o'clock, sometimes I get up at 7 o'clock, sometimes I don't get up till 12 o'clock. Swamiji, you don't get up till 7 o'clock in the morning. And they go away with some idea in their head. Let them go. Who cares, man? What are you trying to prove when you ask such a question? No, I get up every morning at 4:30. But I can't understand. I meditate every morning at 4:30 in the morning till 6:30, 2 hours, yet I am in depression. Then I am better. Sleep till 7 o'clock and then be happy. What are we trying to prove when we show to others what practices we are doing? If you tell to the teacher, it's a different matter. And that too not to show off, only to see if that is the correct way or whatever. See? The more you tell, you are just, when we say it to other people, we just want to show it to them that, I live a very disciplined life. I am doing this and this and this. And people are also, really, you do all this? Yes. And then you get inspired to tell more, that I get up and within 15 minutes I take shower and brush and everything, and I spend 1 hour, 1.5 hours in my puja or japa or meditation. And then I work also. Then I take the children also and I bring them back also. What are you trying to prove? Keep your abhyas, keep your daily practices a secret. Even your family members should not come to know. It should be that secret. Because you tell others, I am studying Bhagavad Gita now of Jnaneshwar Maharaj. Oh, Jnaneshwar Maharaj, what will that 12-year-old tell you about Bhagavad Gita? You should study Shankaracharya. Or you should study this person or that person. Bhagavad Gita, no, Bhagavad Gita it's done and over, so many people have talked about, you should study something else, something more. What is more better than Bhagavad Gita? No, you should study Panchadashi, you should study this, you should study Upanishads. Oh, but they say Bhagavad Gita is essence of all the Upanishads. Or do they say that? I didn't know that. What do you know then? See, when we talk about our sadhana to other people, there is every possibility of losing faith in your sadhana because other people will try to do that, knowingly or unknowingly. They will test you. Don't tell it to anyone. So, therefore, if a religious act which is a friend in this and the next world is proclaimed publicly, it causes more harm than good. Take for example, those people who do a little bit of sadhana. They began the sadhana for what purpose? What was the purpose? To realize. But on the journey, because of certain practices, it is natural, it happens. Some siddhi comes. And once siddhi comes, you can't contain. Oh my God, I can read other people's mind. Oh my God, I can touch and heal the person. And so on. I can manifest things. And all you have to do is tell one person. Before you know, there will be a big queue, like there is queue for the alcohol, liquid spirituality in India right now, 2, 3, 10 kilometers long line. That long line will be outside your kutia. Why? They want to be healed. They want something from you. Don't tell. You only want yourself to be recognized. You are trying to be something that you are not. You began on the spiritual journey, but you got caught up in the siddhi. So here it is told that whatever practices you are doing, what is he saying? Religious act which is a friend in this and the next world. So people do certain sadhanas, and those sadhanas are good. If you don't realize, no problem. It will help you to in the next life. No, I never tell lies, I have got no anger, I have overcome anger. I never tell lies. Then people will test you. You are inviting trouble. It causes more harm than good. O warrior, if religious acts performed by one are given wide publicity, they become impious. Know that this is hypocrisy. See, when we do Satyanarayan Puja, you invite, and then the competition begins. His Satyanarayan Puja was better or my Satyanarayan Puja was better? I'll do it better than them. I'll invite more people. I'll make more dishes than the previous one. Nobody prays to Satyanarayan Bhagwan for the sake of Satyanarayan Bhagwan. Everyone prays to Satyanarayan Bhagwan to get something. If he gives it, then they do the puja. They never do the puja before. If you don't get it, he did not give it. Why should I do the puja? I only said I will do the puja if he gives it to me. That condition is already put. Poor fellow. Same thing when we go to Bhagwan in the temples. We have a wish list. Let my house be sold. Let my daughter get married. No end to it. Now we talk about arrogance. Just as a foolish person who has just learnt his alphabets is not satisfied by a conference of persons well versed in Vedic lore, or the insolent horse of an expert horseman scoffs at Airavata, elephant of god Indra, or a chameleon who has climbed a thorny tree considers the heaven as too low, or the flames of the fire fed on grass reach even the sky, or the fish in a pond holds the sea in contempt. In the same way, a person becomes intoxicated with the possessions of a wife, riches, education, praise, and great honor, like a beggar who becomes intoxicated by eating food given by others. This is our lot again. Second Daivi Sampatti, arrogance. Sorry, not Daivi, Asuri Sampatti, arrogance. When we have an unreasonable estimation of ourselves, a disproportionate estimation of ourselves, that is arrogance. All these examples are not to take you away from the point, but look at each example. A foolish person who has just learnt his alphabets is not satisfied by a conference of persons well versed in Vedic lore. He wants even more. He wants to debate. He wants to show off. This is what I was telling you in the previous one, hypocrisy. They are all very similar. What was that? 6 weeks course or 6 months course in yoga, and they become yoga teachers. When Swamiji went to Germany, and in Germany he stayed with a German lady. She was the first Iyengar yoga teacher in Germany. And in great inspiration she started teaching, and then as she started teaching, as the students passed out, they started opening their yoga studios. And after some time, she had less people, they had more people, because whatever the reason. Then she started holding courses for teachers, advanced courses for teachers. When they did the advanced course, they started conducting the advanced course. Now she was empty, so she needed some new product which she can market. See, this is not the way. Little bit we know and we think we know everything. Like us, little bit we know. We are also in the same boat. Then the second example, the insolent horse of an expert horseman scoffs at Airavata. You know, when you go we have a dog park next to the house here. And who barks the most? Not the big dogs. is those teeny meeny small scruffy looking things. They look at the big dog, because their leash is in their master's hand. Whoa, 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 maximum noise they are making. Same way, here the example that the horse is coughing at the Airavata. Airavata is the vehicle of the Indra, with 4 heads or 5 heads, I think. He is immense strength. Then, or a chameleon who has climbed a thorny tree considers the heaven as too low. Just because you have climbed the ladder of success, you start looking down at everything. That is arrogance. And then a fish, the flames of fire fed on grass reach even the sky. As the flames, how come the flames have come about? Because of the grass. So fire doesn't say thanks. It is arrogant. Why? I am reaching for the skies. But the moment grass finishes, fire also goes. Or the fish in a pond holds the sea in contempt. पता नहीं कहाँ से आ गया इतना सारा पानी. But it doesn't realize that its life is only because of the sea. So when we are living in this world, we are there because you are there. I cannot be a teacher if the students are not there, listeners are not there. I need someone to speak to. In this world, everything is coexisting. Don't look down upon the world. The Daivi way will be, godly way will be Kamalapatravat. Be like the lotus in the dirty waters. But here we are looking down upon the world which is nourishing us, feeding us, providing for us, giving us an opportunity to be who we are today, and we look down upon it. Use and abuse. That's not the way. That's the way of the Asuric. That's the way of the materialists. Those who are only after name, fame, wealth, any way, which way you can. In the same way, a person becomes intoxicated. Now here, after giving all these examples, it comes to the human being. Bhagavan is saying, just like that, a person, a human, becomes intoxicated. With what? With the possession of wife, with the possession of riches, with the possession of education, with the praise that people are giving the person who have put him on the pedestal, and great honor. They vote for them and they give them the Bharat Ratna, or in Australia you will say the OAMs, etc., etc. Anyone, you can also get. If we can drum up a good number of people, we all have friends, we say, hey, come on, I want to help my friend, he's a good person, this, that, and everyone votes for you. Tomorrow you will be the OM. But what qualification is there? What have you done for the community? Rather than being only a nuisance to the community. But with that name of OM, of Bharat Ratna, now wherever you go, you demand, or you enjoy the accolades and the special treatment that you are getting. Shy away from all these things. It's sign of Asuric Sampatti. Understand all the rituals even Ravana used to do. He also used to do a lot of good to his people. But in the end, he had these qualities. So, a person intoxicated means always thinking about wife, children, how with so much difficulty and with so much I did this, I did that, I achieved this position in the life, and that is and so many people, in our house so many people are always coming and going. And what education, praise, and great honor, like a beggar who becomes intoxicated by eating food given by others. Could we get all those possessions, wife, education, honor, wealth, without this world being there, and you're looking down upon the world? No. It is as so here we'll read this. We didn't read now 20 to 26th onwards. It says, Trunacheni indhane agi dhave gagane thillarabane mine naganize sindhu. This was the example of the fish and the fire. Taisa maze striya dhane vidya stuti bahute mane eke divasicheni paranne alpaku jaisa. This is the example of a person having the wealth of wife and knowledge and praise and accolades, etc. And continuing, अभ्रच्छाये चिया जोड़ी निदैवु घर मोड़ी मृगाम्बु देखो नि फोड़ी पणियाडे मूर्ख किम बहुना ऐसैसे उतने जे संपत्ति में से तो दर पूगा अनारिसे न बोले घेई आणि जगा वेदी विश्वासु अणिविश्वासी पूज्य ईशु जगी एक तेजसु सूर्युची ha. He says here that it is though an unlucky person after seeing the shade of clouds should pull down his house, or a foolish person after seeing the mirage should fill up his well. In the same way, knowing that being pulled up with pride on account of one's riches is arrogance. Whatever wealth we have got, whatever knowledge we have got, whatever possessions we have got, it should not lead to arrogance. Uska bakhan mat karo. Instead, use that for the service, thinking as an offering to the Lord, and that Lord is this whole creation. If that attitude is there, then it will become Daivi Sampatti. But if that attitude is not there, then Asuri. The mankind has full faith in the Vedas and so holds God who illumines the world in high reverence. This is till 230. And now we are coming to the third one. What was the third one? Conceit. Darpa. So what is that? Where are we? Jagaspruhe aspad ek सार्वभौम पद न मरणे निर्विवाद जगा पडिये म्हणवनी जग उत्साहे याते वानु जाये किम ते ऐकोनी मत्सरू आहे फुगो लागे म्हणे ईश्वरा ते खाये तया वेदा विषसूये गौरवा माझी त्राये भंगीत असे पतंगा नावडे ज्योती खद्योता भानूची खंती टिटिभेने आपातपती वैरी केला तैसा अभिमानाचे निमोहे ईश्वराचे ही नाम नसाहे वापाते म्हणे मज हे सवती झाली. He says, the mankind has full faith in the Vedas and so holds God who illumines the world in high reverence. It aspires for a high place, even sovereignty in the universe, and likes that it should not meet with death. There can be no dispute about this. If therefore men sing zealously the praise of Vedas and God, he becomes furious with envy after hearing it. He says, who? This man full of conceit, he becomes furious when he thinks of God, when he is spoken to about God, when he is spoken to about scriptures. Like the early professors of India who were brainwashed by the Britishers according to their historical concoction of our history. And there are still many still available. One or two I also know. And for them, Aryans are still the people who came from from the Caspian Sea region. They're still at the body level. They're still at the color of the body level. Aryan, even our scriptures, doesn't mean from where you came. Aryan means the cultured one are called Aryans. When we were cultured, that time the Europeans were still in Stone Age. Far, far behind. Take 10,000 years ago. Ramayana, the first poem called Ramayana, was written 7,000 BC. Where was America or Europe at that time? And they are telling us what our history is like. And went to in front of these people over a drink. Then they want to talk spirituality to you. I run away from this type of... Initially I was naive. When I went, studied the scriptures and I came back and they... Or someone having beer, someone having scotch, and we invite Brahmachari Deepak Chaitanya that time. And then after a few spiritual intakes, then the questioning begins. And I was naive at that time. See, these are the type. This is the conceited outlook towards our own culture. This is there are people in Melbourne who do puja, but they don't believe in God. There are people in Melbourne who do puja, and the day they have puja, they will not drink or eat meat. Other days they drink and they eat meat. You will be surprised. This is called conceit. So such a person becomes furious with envy after hearing that scriptures were written. When you say scriptures were written, no, my knowledge tells this person has written this PhD, and in that he has written in the 18th century, in the 19th. They will give you 10 different books. Someone did a research and they gave me a book to read. And they have made the whole life of Adi Shankaracharya. I can't imagine what they have written. You can't imagine. And and by chance, it was a big book. I opened it, and that Adi Shankaracharya's life came, so I got interested. I started reading. It was completely bonkers. Nothing to do what has been recorded. No, because, and what is their research? Their research is, that person said this, so one line from there. That person said this, so one line from there. And they create their own story. And then these become the books to teach in the universities. It's not from the source. And such people, they cannot handle the truth because they are so filled up with their research. Like if you go to a doctor who is he has spent so many thousands of dollars, spent 10, 15 years in becoming a surgeon or a doctor, GP, and after that you tell them, hey, I don't need your medicine. This Indian style, इसका नुस्खा नींबू पानी डाल लो अपना सारा पित्त खत्म हो जाता है. No, how can that be possible? This is all quack. नींबू पानी is quack. This is this type of people. He says, I shall swallow God, destroy the Vedas and their authority with my might. This is what other religions are trying with Sanatan Dharma right now. They want to convert. They want to show to us, because we are not well versed with our own culture. They put a doubt in our mind. So when you just do the rituals for the sake of rituals, anyone can corrupt you. That's what happened in Goa. Everyone became Christian. Why? Today also they say we are Brahmin Christians. We are Kshatriya Christians. We are Vaishya Christians. Christianity does not have. But they got converted because they could not stand the argument, or they were so superstitious that if the water was put or the meat was put and that water or wine or was drunk, now you have lost your our Sanatan Dharma is that weak. And these people, they show that because they are angry, they think that what their way of life is, what their way of approach to life is, that is the best. And that is why the originals of every country, go to America, come to Australia, go to Africa, the originals of their country were called aboriginals. And atrocities committed against them. Why? Because we are superior. So the only way to impose your superiority, whatever is their culture, whatever is their lifestyle, whatever is their education, whatever is their language, destroy it. And that's what has been going on for centuries. It is not today. It is centuries. In the way, this is how when the Islam, the Muhammad Ghazni and all, when they came and attacked India in the 9th century, this is what they did. They all the big mosques in India are built on temples. They want to destroy every sign of other person's culture, because I will use any way which I have at my disposition to show that what I follow is superior than what you are following. My ideology is better. In the way the moth dislikes the light of the lamp, the glowworm hates the sun, or the lapwing bears enmity with the sea, he does not bear through conceit to hear even the name of God. Those who do not believe in God, those who do not want to believe in consciousness, those who do not believe in a higher power, these are the people. Show me proof. Show me proof. Tell him, die first and then I'll show you that you came out of the body. Proof. They cringe at the name of God. If uttered in his presence, he treats even his father with a hostile feeling out of fear that he will ask for a share in his wealth. He is a person who is still with self-importance, overbearing and full of infatuation. This conceit is a highway to hell. So, this is not to sit here and listen and keep the commentaries going in my mind. I know that person is like this. I know that person is like that. I know this person is like this. I know this person. No. All these points are told to assess yourself, not to assess others. How these points somewhere raise their hood within us every now and then. Therefore, even more important for us to consciously, regularly be alert towards the Daivi Sampatti. Now, from the 236th verse. ऐसा मान्यतेचा पुष्टगंगंडू तो अभिमानी परमलंडू शैरवाचा रूढू मार्गूची पायी आणि पुढिलांचे सुख देखणियाचे होय मिख चढे क्रोधाग्नीचे विख मनोवृत्ती शीतळाची भेटी तातला तेली आगी उठी चंद्रू देखोनी जळे पोटी कोल्हा जैसा विश्वाचे आयुष्य जेणे उजळे तो सूर्य उदयला देखोनी सवळे पापिया फुटती डोळे डुडुळाचे जगाची सुख पहाट चोरा मरणाहुनी निकृष्ट दुधाचे काळकूट होय व्याळी. He says, so we saw that he is a person who is still with self-importance. Who? This person with conceit, overbearing and full of infatuation. And for such a person, this conceit, this particular trait is a highway to hell. Now hear about wrath. Wrath is krodha. So we have seen dambho, darpa, abhimana and darpa. Now we are going to krodha. His mind, that is of a demonical person, is poisoned by fiery wrath when he happens to see others happy. The person who is angry, he can't see other people happy. क्या हंसने को हो गया है? What is so funny? If children are laughing, why are you laughing? Keep quiet. हर जगह पे दादागिरी. He doesn't know how to laugh, and therefore he hates other people laughing. What is there to laugh in this? And teenagers, they laugh for any damn thing. They don't need a reason. खिरखिर खिरखी खिकी खिकी चलता रहता है उनका. His mind, that is of a demonical person, is poisoned with fiery wrath when he happens to see others happy. If a drop of water is added to a boiling water, it shoots up, and when the jackal sees the moon, he becomes furious and starts howling. The owl loses its vision at the rising of the sun, who illumines the world. See? So, the one who is angry, when he sees good, he becomes angry. He is not available to wisdom. And the examples we just saw. The owl loses its vision at the rising of the sun, who illumines the world. The morning which gives pleasure is more painful to the thief than death. Because when does a thief steal? Only at night. So for him, just like the owl comes back to his nest before the sunrise, same way the thief also comes back to his home after doing his job before the first light of dawn. Such is the person with anger. The morning which gives pleasure is more painful to the thief than death, and milk given to a serpent turns into poison. Similarly, to this angry person, anything you tell, wise words you give, Shant, you try to calm him down, he gets only more angry. Continuing from 241st verse. अगाधे समुद्र जळे प्राशिता अधिक जळे वडवाग्नि न मिळे शांति कही. शांति कही. तैसा विद्या विनोद विभवे देखे पुढिलाची दैवे तव तव रोषू दुणावे क्रोधूतो जाण आणि मन सर्पाची कुटी डोळे नाराचाची सुटी बोलणे ते वृष्टी डग इंगळाची ये रजे क्रिया जात ते तिखयाचे करवत ऐसे सवाह्य खसासित जयाचे गा तो मनुष्यात अधमू जाण पुरुष्यांचे अवतरण आता ऐक खूण अज्ञानाची. The submarine fire flares up by drinking sea water and never cools down. In the same way, when he sees the learning, luxurious living, and good fortune of others, he becomes flush with anger. No, this is wrath. I have come across few people like this. One very close. If you meet some students, how much your father must have made money in black in India, that's why he's able to send you here to study in Australia, no? Straight on the face. Otherwise, how can you, normal people, how can they come to Australia? Their father must have done some hanky-panky there. Otherwise, how can you come and study, spend 40,000, 60,000, and I'm getting a salary of only 40,000, and you're spending so much plus accommodation plus food. You must have some black money back in India. Not knowing these students are taking loan and coming. So just because he is not able to have that what others have, Duryodhana style, what is mine, what is others is also mine. See? Demonical. And other people's success makes him angry. Other people's luxury makes him angry. And such a person is never quiet in his mind. Understand, when we are angry, the first person affected is us, our mind alone. Our heart is corrupted. Other person doesn't even know that you are angry towards them. beware. Now hear about harshness. He whose mind is like the hole of a serpent, whose sight is as fiery as as a sharp pointed arrow, whose speech is like the shower of live coals, whose actions are like a sharp saw, and whose conduct is painful to others, is vile among men and harshness incarnate. We can, all these things resonate with ourselves somewhere little bit. Yeah, Swamiji, why should I tell? I am feeling that these asuric sampati is more like me than the Daivik sampati. This is the norm. I feel at one with these qualities than the 26 qualities in the 3 verses that were told before. They were in little bit, but these are more at home. I feel at home with these. Now I shall tell you the characteristic of ignorance. So our speech, our disposition with others, see what happens. Those who attended Tsangdev Pasashti, in that Tsangdev Maharaj, when he used to go anywhere, all the animals of the jungle would follow him. Tigers, elephant, horses, deer, snakes, birds, all of them. Each one of them is an enemy of each other. Each one is the food of the other. Yet, in the presence of his, they all forgot that, hey, this bird is coming. The cat is thinking, oh, I have got a ready-made food. No, it's going together. So when we are moving around, are we only barking at everyone? Are our movements gentle, flowing? Is our speech mrudul, soft, nectarine, calming? Or always shouting and barking at others? See? Whose sight is as fiery as a sharp pointed arrow. There is a person who I know here in Melbourne. When he looks at you, he'll keep looking. He will not even blink his eyes. I don't want to be in his presence. What is he looking? What's there to look? It's forced concentration. It's not, you don't feel comfortable in that person's presence. Those person who look from the corner of their eye what is going on, always beware. Always beware. कुछ खिचड़ी पक रही है उसके दिमाग में मैनिपुलेट करने की. See? Whose conduct is painful to others, is is our presence painful to others, or is our presence a cool breeze for others? Excuse me. Now I shall tell you the characteristics of ignorance. What are they? From 246 onwards. तरी शीतोष्ण स्पर्शा निवाडू नेणे पाषाणु जैसा का रात्री आणि दिवसा जात्यंधुतो आगी उठिला आरोगणे जैसा खाद्या खाद्य न म्हणे का परिसा पाडू नेणे सोनया लोहा ना तरी नानारसी रिघोनी देवी जैसी परी रस स्वादासी चाखो नेणे कावारा जैसा पारखी नवेची गा मार्ग विखी तैसे कृत्याकृत्य विवेकी अंधपणजे हे चोख हे मैळ ऐसे नेणोनिया बाळ देखे ते केवळ मुखीची घाली. He says, just as a rock does not feel cold or hot, or a person blind from birth does not know day or night, or the fire does not know what it should consume and what not, or the philosopher's stone does not distinguish between iron and gold, or a ladle does not know the taste of juices in which it is dipped, or the wind does not know the difference between a highway and a bypath. So he is blind to good and bad actions. Just as a child puts anything in its mouth without knowing whether it is good or bad, he consumes the hodgepodge of merit and sin without knowing whether it is bitter or sweet. This is no doubt that this state of mind is ignorance. What is ignorance? Where there is no discrimination. Where there is no right and wrong. How many beautiful examples Jnaneshwar Maharaj has taken. Stone does not know Stone does not know what is hot and what is cold. It is inert. Ignorant person also is inert. He does not know what is good or bad, what is meritorious or sinful. Like a blind person from birth does not know what is day or night. He can't make that difference. If you say, hey, now it is night, he says, what is night? Even though his eyes can't see anything. But he doesn't know that emptiness is night for us, those who can see. The philosopher's stone does not distinguish between iron and gold. Anything rubbed on the philosopher's stone turns into precious. The ladle, whether it is taking out the whiskey or the wine or the sangria or the cocktail or the juice or the basundi or the kheer, paisam, ladle does not know. It's that inert. Inert here is unconscious. Just like in sleep, you are unconscious where your leg has fallen on your parents, but when you are conscious and your leg fall, if you touch your parents with your leg, immediately namaskar, immediately an apology. But in sleep, neither you feel the guilt of it, nor do they feel that you have done anything wrong. Because both are ignorant in sleep. And even if the parents are not sleeping and you are sleeping, they know that you are ignorant. You are in a state of inertness, you are not conscious. So, sab bhul chuk maaf us samay. Everything is pardoned. And then, uh, just as the wind does not know the difference between a highway and a bypath, it will flow wherever. Today I went cycling. While I was going, the wind was pushing me. Oh, I was at full speed. When I was coming back, the wind was against me. Oh my God. That time, please, Pavan Bhagwan, Pavan Devta, please turn your direction so that you help me to climb the hill. No. Wherever. And so the person is blind to good and bad actions. See, if we are aware, if we are conscious, if we are awake, if we are alert, if we are vigilant, if we are discriminating, if we have a little bit of sense of what is right and wrong, then we will perform good actions and abstain from bad actions. And many people, oh, everything is Bhagwan. Or there is no Bhagwan. There is no higher power. So, how does it matter if I do or I don't do? It does not matter. That is foolish living. That is ignorant living. Consequence you have to face. Whatever action you do, you will have to face the consequences. Afterwards, repenting that I was misguided, I was thinking wrongly. Why didn't you think correctly that time? When parents were telling you, when elders were telling you, now the scriptures are telling you that don't have the arrogance of family, wealth, education, position, accolades, honor. Throw it out of the window. See? So we are here to prove the scriptures wrong. We are here to prove the masters wrong. Because our take of life is more important than the correct way of life. That becomes the conclusion of the ignorant one. He is blind to good and bad actions, just as a child puts anything in its mouth without knowing whether it is good or bad. We also interact with the world without thinking. We just jump into it. This is what crowd mentality means. We saw the stone pelting and in Delhi and other places. This is crowd without thinking. In that fervor, in that they are youth, they are full of energy. Someone calls out and yeah, okay, let's go, and now they are in jail, rotting there. See, have discrimination. Think what is right and wrong. Last 5. From the 251st verse. 240, we did this, na? 250. तैसे पाप पुण्याचे खिचटे करोनी खाता बुद्धी चेष्टे कडू मधुर न वाटे ऐसी जे दशा तिये नाम अज्ञान या बोला नाही आन एवं साही दोषांचे चिन्ह सांगितले इहीच साही दोषांगी हे आसुरी संपत्ती दाटुगी जैसे थोर विषय सुभगे अंगी अंगसाने कार्तिघा वन्हीच्या पाती पाहता थोडे ठाय गमती परी विश्व ही प्राणाहुती करून पुरे धातयाही गेलिया शरण त्रिदोषी न चुके मरण तया तिहिची दुनी जाण साही दोष हे. In the 250 till 251st to 255th he says that he consumes the. So we talked about the one who does not think about the merit and the sinful, and without knowing the difference, he just, like the small child, puts everything into the mouth. He also jumps into everything and gets involved in any damn thing. If someone is going to pub, let's go. If someone is smoking, let's smoke. If someone is drinking, let's drink. If someone is stealing, let's steal. If someone is, you know, some rich fellow was my classmate when I was in Europe, and that time, rich Nawab. But he went into a shopping center. I was with him, and and he is stealing a pant from the shopping center. And I saw him doing that. I said, hey, don't do that. You come and do it when you are alone. I'm not with you. And he wouldn't listen. He was intoxicated. It was the thrill of the moment. I ran away from there. I said, no, I'm not going to get caught up in all this. And I ran out. I said, I'll go and wait outside. I'm not going to come out with you. And I didn't have anything to buy, so I came out, and he came, and the alarm went ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, and he quickly ran back, kept the pant and came, but the security guy caught him. See? He who can buy any pant at any moment, but the thrill of the moment wants to steal. It gives him a rush. And then for the next 5 days, he was in depression. Why? He had to go to the police. And then he took me. I said, why you want me to be involved, man? And we went to the police station. 2 big, huge, about that high Alsatians were sitting there. And the policeman is sitting behind. Plain clothes. And he knows that we are from the university there. And he saw that he was well dressed. We are in our suits and everything. And he says, you look rich. You know, you have spent money and you have come here. Then why did you do this act? I can understand. It must be for the thrill. But it is my first and the last warning. That if I catch you next time, you will be deported. And with that warning, he came back. But what? Is this a thrill? This is a sign of ignorance. When we are drunk, when our mind is not functioning properly, when we are drunk, as if I am drunk. I am not drunk. I am drunk in something else right now. Then our speech is not right. We don't know what we are doing, what we are not doing. Shukdev Ji Maharaj was drunk on the knowledge that he received while he was in the womb of his mother. And when he came out when he was born, in that drunken state, he just walked. Didn't want complete vairagya from parents, from the world. Nothing. He didn't open his mouth till the Bhagavad did not begin for Parikshit. Then he opened his mouth. Till that time he has not opened his mouth. Thus I have explained to you the 6 faults. So these were the 6 which have given strength to the demonical endowments. Even if the viper is tiny, its poison is deadly. Viper is a type of snake. Even if the fires, namely world conflagration at the time of dissolution, fire of lightning and the submarine fire, that is the volcanoes, underground volcanoes, are only 3 in number, the world is not sufficient for a ritual offering to them. You cannot offer enough. It will consume everything. Look at what the fires did to Australia, what they did to America, what they did to in Himalayas. Every year the fires are there, and hundreds and thousands of acres are burnt away. Now, where do you offer offerings? When you do a fire sacrifice, which is called homam, you offer ahuti in that, no? It is fire. Here, such a huge fire. Whether it is lightning, whether it is the Davagni of the forest, or it is the volcanic fire. How much ahuti you are going to put? Any amount of ahuti you put, it's less. It will consume everything. So here he says that the world is not sufficient for a ritual offering to them. When one suffers from the derangement of the three humors of the body, phlegm, wind and bile, which is kapha, vata and pitta, these are the three humors, or in our terms sattva, rajas, tamas, but at the body level that sattva, rajas, tamas expresses as kapha, vat is the wind, okay, let's not get into that. Kapha, Vat, Pitta, three. According to Ayurveda, these are the three humors which have to be balanced. So, here he says, phlegm, wind and bile, one cannot, so phlegm is Kapha, wind is Vata and bile is Pitta. One cannot escape death even if he seeks the protection of God Brahma. See? So when these three are totally out of sync with each other, Kapha, Pitta, Vata, then even God Brahma cannot help. You are in the hands of God of death. So what are we? So now forget only at the body level, take your mind. If we are at the mercy of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, death is a sure short conclusion in life. What is Sattva, Rajas, Tamas? Waking is Sattva, Rajas is dreams, Tamas is deep sleep. And what is spirituality? Going beyond it. In the waking state, you are with the body. Sattva. In the dream state, you are in the mind, Rajas. In the deep sleep, you are with nothing, Tamas. And as long as these three are creating havoc in our life, forget about moksha, forget about realization. Forget about moksha. We have to go beyond. So even if we seek the protection of God, we cannot be saved. We have to transcend. We have to disidentify with these three. Or we have to bring them in balance. We have to integrate them, synchronize them. Different words. Okay, time. And since the demonical endowment is founded on these six faults, it never lacks anything. And if there should be a conjunction of evil plan, I will go into that next time. This is enough for today. So, do not live a life of, what is that? Dambha, Darpa, Abhimana, Krodha, Parushyam, Ajnana. Get out of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hypocrisy, arrogance, conceit, anger or wrath, harshness, and ignorance. Just like we have Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, the Shadripu, similarly these six. They are to be, we have to protect ourselves from them. And how can you protect yourself from them? He will tell, but in short, I don't know what he will tell, but what's coming to me right now, you focus more on the positive ones. You focus more on the 15th chapter. You focus more on the yesterday's verse. Anyone learned? Sarvatmakoham sarvoham sarvatito ahamadvayaha kevala akhand bodhoham anandoham nirantaraha. I have learned. Have you? Contemplate on this. Automatically these six will slowly melt away. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Next class will be on Saturday evening 6 o'clock. So 6:05 we'll meet then. And now 1 minute, sit silent.